Okay. Ready, set, talk your guts out. Talk your guts out, Marge. Marge, you get on those interwebs and you start talking your guts out. Is that a little too bright? All of a sudden I care about the lighting. Boom. Whoa! This is my production costs are low. It's my little camping light. It's solar. It's the only thing I'll ever buy at that REI piece of crap place. I got the one in Oregon, up in Kaiser Station. Never again. Hi, my name's Marge. I'm a Hale Path. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Or a conversation if people feel so inclined to engage in the allocated chat box. Stanley's using his chair. I love it when they use the stuff I give them. Mom's laying down. She's listening. Stanley, this is a chair that Stanley, just licking your foot. He's like, do you mind? This is a little old, crappy, broken down kid Miley Ray Cyrus Papa San chair. I like to repurpose things. So, let's see. Today was a pretty good day. I wore a face shield. I wonder what I did with it. Did I leave it in the van? Come on, Luna, you want up there? She says, I'll take my place, bitches get stitches. Come on, girl. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. May I give you a kiss? Thank you. So, went to the hardware store to get numbers for the street, the numbers, the house numbers. So, that was pretty cool until when I left, the old guy's like, just so you know, you have to have a mask on too, under the visor. And I just ignored him. He's like, for future reference. I'm like, okay, for future reference, I'll get everything I need any place else but here. Thanks for that. Didn't really, what are you, I'm German too, and I still don't freaking want to make people do stuff. Do it because I said. Dude, I'm a healthy 46-year-old woman. I'm sorry you're not. People, I saw an article on the, I was just reading it to Mom. I was like, Mom. Where was it? DC battens down amid threats of violence protests. The inauguration draws near, and I'm just like, and then you look at the picture, I'm like, what the fuck are those people gonna do? Dude, our readiness is shit. I'll be the one to say it. We got complacent, man. I'm glad I became more fit, though, because I had to use all my energy, so I became a dancing fool. That's how I burn through a lot of my energy, This spring, I'm like scoping it out, how I want, and I'm going to plant flowers and stuff and make a nice little oasis, a little fenced-in area so we can just go in there and freaking chill in the sun and stuff, So, and there's all kinds of poppies back there and flowers and vegetation. I'm gonna clear it all out and then plant stuff. I'll leave some stuff, but I was talking to the guy at the tackle shop today about that local vegetation. That was a pleasant experience. I like going in there. It's a nice place there. The tack shop. I keep saying tackle, but it's the tack shop. It's where I get the animal stuff. I got them some vitamins today. I'm going to add it to their food. I'm excited about it. Because they're all like 9 to 10, 11 years old. So they're starting to get where it matters that you got to pay special attention to their joints and things like that. So, yep. So I like going in there, and I was looking. I got some pictures. Actually, I just remembered I took those. That's so funny. There. Oh, I knew that was gonna be. I should post these on Instagram. Let's see. But these saddles, the detail work, the leather work on these saddles. I was talking to him about one. I was like, and this one over here, and they had silver. There were like silver that was stamped out too. And I was like, did this guy stamp out the silver himself too? And she's like, I don't think he did that. And then they're like, yeah, he surely did. Evidently, he's a man. I'm going to get, you know what? That's what I want to do. I'm going to get his name, and I'm going to talk more about him. Because this man has PTSD, and that's what he does. Is he does these amazing works of art on leather. I mean, they're just freaking sick is what they are. I don't know if they're all the same. These are all by the same man, but I will definitely get pictures of the one that I'm talking about with the silver stamped out, and I'll put it on Instagram. It's just amazing. And I'm like, see? And that's what I explained to the people. I said, see? That is what is happening in the world. That is what that man's. That he is turning his shadow, his angst, his whatever is going on in his head, and he's turning that into a meditative state by just doing that leather work. So he's taking that darkness and he's turning it into light. And that's what everybody has the chance to do right now. And a lot of people really want to. And I think what we're going to find is the closer that we get to spring, when it starts to get warmed up, people are going to become more warm and open and receptive. This spring's going to be sprung. Because it's a special kind of air, spice in the air. There's a special feeling in the air. There's a magnetism in the air. There's a freedom in the air. You know, and a lot of, people are going to start living locally. I got to give some of my business cards out. I'm like, these are the services that I offer. If you ever need anything, or, just want to shoot the shit, have you over for a cup of coffee. You like dogs? Met a nice name, a lady named Barbara today. She reminds me of a lot of women I've known before. Very similar characteristics, because ultimately we're all just the same in some capacity. So she reminds me of Carol, the lady across the street that I used to talk about, had the Volkswagen. She if Carol, she's like a version of her, but you could tell that she didn't choose alcohol as a crutch in her life, because she's in probably same age, maybe even a little bit older, but physically a lot healthier. I was at the Walgreens today, man. My freaking desire to drink is just like yanking on me, and I'm just like, just for today, I'm not gonna. Just for today. And I don't know what to say about it. I can't explain it, because I haven't had any desire for quite some time, but it's just like, and I was standing in line when I was waiting at Walgreens today, which also was a pleasant experience too, I might add. And there's a liquor store right next door to it, and I was just like, and it was like scotch, whiskey, and then it had all the other, and those are the kinds I like. I like the grandpa stuff that makes you burn. I like it neat, or I like to mix it up. I like to fry it, it doesn't matter. I just like Oblivion. Thing of it is like, something kind of rad happened tonight. I didn't do it. I played the tape through because my body, the way it processes, and it's so sensitive now. The likelihood for alcohol poisoning would be a lot higher. So just don't do it. So the thing always is, like, I had a pretty present experience when I was in Arizona. It was very uncomfortable, and there are days that things just sucked. It was like, let me get through this half hour. Just God help me it was very uncomfortable. So what I would do is I'd picture, because I knew, like, the next place where, that was my goal, is just find a trailer to live someplace, hunker down for the winter, gather your nuts, and then plan, for where the next chapter of how things are going to go down for the next 20, 30 years. And so I would picture, like, Stanley running through the house joyfully, or Stanley sitting in his chair, because he was in the other room. He was by himself most of the time. I'd go in the other room and hang out with him, but he would be in the room where I'd take all the dogs at night and sleep. But during the day we hung out with Mom. And so it sucked not having him around, and, like, teetering his. I went and got Allen wrenches today and for his cat tree, because it got the dipshits that loaded the movers, the Allen wrench for it got lost in the move. So got Allen wrenches to make sure it's like, and it's just like that's the stuff, is when you're going through a hard time, just always recognize that it's energy, and energy always changes and shifts, and it's not going to stay a hard time forever. So you got to hang on. Some of the, there'd be certain points of the day that were just like the best parts of the day. And everywhere I've ever lived, it's like one of my favorite feelings, and I carry those feelings with me of peace and security, is like when you're laying down at night, when you turn in for the evening, you're done. You don't have anything else to do, no more chores, and you can lay there, and all the critters around you, and they're snoring, and probably farting, and everything's just okay. I waited a long time to get to that feeling, where I feel it all day long, every day. I want to help people feel comfortable. So people contribute to the channel. People donate money to me through the channel, And I do other things for other people. And a lot of times I don't share about the encounters that I have. I prefer to keep it autonomous. Sometimes I do, and the reason is people don't know how. They don't know what ways they can do it, because of all the old programming. So there's a kid today, too young to be homeless, outside Walgreens, and he just had a backpack, had a sign that said homeless, anything helps. So I stopped in there because I forgot dryer sheets yesterday. See, and that's just, everything's divine. God directs us and guides us in all things. That's why I went to Walgreens yesterday to get dryer sheets, and then I forgot them. So this is the trip today. So I go inside, I see the kid, and I was like, all right, we got to get him a care package kind of thing. So I found him some. Right at the front door, they had those things work too. And it was cold this morning. It was like 4 at 9 a.m. It was freaking cold. And so, did I have tights on? Yeah, I had tights on. And I was gonna buy him some tights too, but I didn't. Or like thermals kind of thing. Even like they have these yoga pants. It don't matter, man. It's an extra layer. That shit works. It helps a lot. Um, so they had those like where you shake them up and you put them in your gloves, the hot hands. Got him some of those. Got him a couple boxes of granola bars, loaf of bread, some crunchy peanut butter. Uh, a sweatshirt. They had a sweatshirt that was like that could fit him. That was rad because that gave him an extra layer. Because he had like a hoodie on and a t-shirt. He was not prepared. I don't know, you know, and I don't understand. I don't need to know what his circumstances is. And people are like, and I gave him $20. I said, don't do nothing stupid with it, or do. I'm Heyoka. You know, that bottle will probably keep you warmer than anything else would, you know. That's the thing, is that's why I gotta stay in the light, because I just want, you know. But, see, I have addictions. That's why I freaking enable people with their addictions, because I just want people to feel good, you know. But I can't do my addictions. Well, alcohol. Addiction, that's it. Well, I do coffee. I started drinking coffee since I've been here. I like a good cup of coffee every now and again. Sometimes decaf. I switch it up, just Folgers. I'm not even into fancy shit. I think it tastes great. Sometimes no cream. Sometimes a little peppermint. It depends on how I'm feeling. Let's see. Readiness. Military readiness is a joke. Oh my goodness! And then I was like, it was always kind of a joke. Everything's a show. I learned that a long time ago. Everything's a show. There's how things are, and there's how they want you to think things are. And it's just like, these people that want you to think things are a certain way, they're freaking whacked, man. It's like they're drama rejects, like the kids from drama class. You know, like they walked in and the kids in drama was like, no, we don't want to fucking hang out with you people either. So they all went into politics. Now they're running the country. Hey, I got complacent. You know why I think I got complacent? We had this conversation with the people at the tax show. I said, I said, hey, we all got complacent. She's like, what happened? People are like, what happened to this country? I'm like, we all got complacent. I got complacent because I just figured out that it was bullshit, and there's nothing I can do anyway. So why am I gonna bother? Why would I even bother? And the thing of it is that there's a lot of things we can do. Every time I put out a video, I put out over 1,400 videos now. That's an intention. That's someplace, somebody's going to vibe like me at some point in their life. I'm going to come across their radar. Either we're going to connect, or they're going to see me like, nah, check in, check out. Most people check in, check out. I'm not big on longevity. People don't stick around with me. Mom does. Sometimes I think if she had a better place to go, she'd go there though. No, we have a good time together. I got her. Yesterday she said she wanted an ice cream cone, but she don't like going nowhere. So she likes vanilla. That's easy, but I got some cones. So I got waffle cones, and I got her regular sugar cones. So, and I even have the drizzle stuff. I got it so if she wants toppings, she can have toppings if she wants, you know. So she never really has to go anywhere. I'll usually take the outside world to her, and I do it in photography too. I go out and I take pictures of stuff, and then I report. Hey, Mom, check this out. Oh. She likes to look at the UFOs that are cloaked in the clouds, you know. Then she comes out with me and checks out the sunsets and the sunrises here. I had another pleasant conversation at Walmart today, Wally World today. The lady that was at the checkout stand. I said, Mom and I have been looking all over this nation for a place for us to be for when the older Earth ends. And I said, and she's like, and you landed here? I said, we landed here. I said, you know what? It feels good. it feels good here. So far, I'm only into the first season of my first month, a couple. It's still fresh. Everything's all wonderful in the beginning, and I know every part has its shadow. I can see what they already are. Well, the thing of it is like, I talked to the guy at Ace today, and it's evident all over. There are supply chain issues. And I asked the guy at Ace, I'm like, is it transportation or what? He's like, well, a lot of these, like, we ordered blinds last week. They were on back order, and then we got notification that the company just closed. And I said, you know what the funny part about is a lot of these companies, they got these big old huge bailouts. And what the thing of it is, instead of using those to stay open and to, help some families keep some food on the table, they took the bailout, and then they're just like, oh, we're going to ride out the wave. They sold out is what they did. So supply chain is really going to become an issue. I've always paid attention to, because when I was in the Air Force, that's what I did. And I knew it was a crock then. I knew what a crock. I mean, we couldn't get these ducks because they designate. It's what it is like, somebody has a company, a cousin. They have a cousin, some freaking officer in maintenance has. Okay, cousin, make these AC ducts, okay? And then the military has quadrillion dollar budgets, so they'll pay for whatever, so designate whatever price you want those to be. So they're $15,000 for these ducts. And they're these ducts that the fucking cops, the dipshit cops freaking would break all the time. Don't get me started on that. Police are the second to the lowest test scores in the military. They want them dumb. So, it's not, and hey, everybody has an opportunity to go to college, just not a lot of cops did or do. And then they just go back home and get on with their local police department, good old boy. And then it's a free ride. And they're the resource hogs. Everybody's got complacent. It goes back with the readiness. I see all these pictures of like all the, I mean, it don't add up. All the riots in Minnesota and all the riots that all for the last year that have been going on, and all these just let themselves go. When gluttons let their blessings spoil them, this is the world we get. So, but hey, the thing of it is with all this rad energy and stuff, people are supposedly going to be getting back into their fitness and their spirituality and stuff like that. I was thinking about that a little while ago about religions. See, and all the freaking dirty, nasty stuff that has been happening under the name of God. Even the money. It's printed on our money that is about worthless. In God we trust. Which God? How many gods people are trusted in the Luciferi tale theater? There's a lot. That storyline exists. Maybe it's not as big, or maybe it's, bigger than what they ever say it's gonna be. People want all this truth to come out, and I'm just like, are they ready for it? Are they ready for some of this said truth? Can they handle it? Because people don't even like it when I talk about stories of my life, and just like, people that I know. People get all, oh, that's weird. Oh, that makes me feel bad inside. Ooh, I don't want to hear that. La, la, la. And then we're back to that it ain't real. Because people are so in denial. So maybe we're less than complacent than more in denial. Who knows? I can only speak for myself. But I did get to meditate for about an hour today. It was a good meditate state. I hope other people are taking the time and trying. Start with 5 minutes. There's lots of things you can do, ways to meditate. Doodling. Doodling's a good way to meditate. leather work, as I talked about earlier. That's freaking cool, man. Um, I like binaural beats, and like there's a couple of guided meditations that I do. Rasa, Lusa, something or other. And there's so many. You just gotta find what's right for you. Uh, so today was a pretty good day for me. Like any day, I do not yell all day long or get mad or anything. And see, that's the thing is all the stress, is all the reason why I would get mad was removed, because it was just like extra messes to clean up, is extra paper, garbage, but it's all been removed because now we have a washer. Now we got the garbage, the rubbish bin. So, whatever. Now I just live to serve again. you know. Just live to serve again. Just make sure everybody's comfortable. He's so cute, dude. Look at Stanley in his chair, dude. I freaking love it. Stanley, Stanley, Stanley. Aw, are you burying your head? Your little face? Yes, he's... Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh, Luna jumped down and it startled him. At least it wasn't me. Oh, but he put his face back. He just buried his face right back in. And then Luna, see, that's the thing, is he's sitting, his chair is sitting on top of the, I don't know if you can see it, the dog kennel. And I have it all covered with blankets. I've drugged this freaking kennel from, I should have just like threw it away and bought it, but they all like it. So, from Omaha. Dude, it's been a hard, weird 4 or 5 years. Omaha to Oregon to Arizona to New Mexico. Ain't life grand? Ain't God good, man? And God's made it pretty. Yeah, it sucked and it was hard. And there's consequences. At the same time, it makes for good stories. It really, really does, And people are like, oh... when they don't want to go across town to help their parents, or even bring their parents into their home, or see, that's the thing, is we got to take care of the elders. We got to bring everybody back together. We've got to go back to community living. We got to, and that's cool that people like me, what we're gonna do is we exist is to try and get people back to God, source, God. Because people are like, what's God to you? To me, good orderly direction, doing the next right thing, not trying to harm somebody or cheat them or steal them or lie to them, and being faithful and not gossiping and stuff like that. All that space in between. And the one woman today said that hers was TFs. Either it's, I can't remember. Some days it's something spirit, true spirit, and some days it's tough shit or something like that. I think something like that. I'll have to get clarification on that, but it was funny. Yeah. Some days I've stood in freaking fields. When I was in Arizona, I was so uncomfortable and in so much pain that I was just like, where's God? There's no God. There's no God. I mean, and that's the thing, is just like, when I would get into those, I would only have bouts. And then I understand the spirit world. I understand how spirits work. And they even talked about how a woman native to that land, native to America, like escorted like 100 spirits out the back gate where I was living. So it was a high active spirit, and you get attachments onto you. That's what they said, is the daughter said that, like, that's like after we got there, she was like, I feel like, 'cause they would sage us. I swear they would sage at us it was weird. And she's like, it's like you brought a demonic entity attached to you all the way from Oregon. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Well, I must suck at what I do because I freaking cleared myself all the way from Oregon and, have my own ways of clearing and things like that. And that's, and I, it's like they, I don't know, it was weird, but like making us look like we had negative demons attached to us and treating us that way and things like that. You spot what you have, and that's what people don't understand. So when people are doing that, what they're saying to me is they are the ones that have these negative energies attached to them by because I'm just like, it was weird. It was weird. But so pay attention when people are telling you what a piece of shit you are. That's how they talk to themselves, and you probably don't want to hang with them anyway. You probably don't. So that's what people are figuring out. It's just easier to hang out by yourself. But even hanging out by yourself and being alone, and I'm not even alone. I got Mom and the DOGs. Still, there's a lot of people that don't have anybody. And then they get stuck in their minds, and that can be a very, very dangerous place. Especially when people are imbalanced and they don't have any kind of spiritual conditioning. But hopefully people like me can help people find a higher power if they don't even know where to look. Something outside themselves to believe in. To let you know that everything's going to be okay. That things are going to be alright. And that people don't have to live in fear. And that's why so many people are getting, as I see it, they get sick and die. Because they're afraid to get sick and die. So when people are afraid to get sick and die, what they in fact do is draw like attracts like. So you speak it, you're going to live it. And there's so many people that have just like, that's, I eat a lot. I got stuff to make ice cream sundaes and stuff like that. But I also dance it out, it's balance. It's like, okay, I'm going to work this off, or it's going to end up in my ass, and spring's coming. Spring. That has nothing to do with the condition of my fitness, So, my tuchus. But everybody, it's funny because, like, I was in such a heightened state of stress for so long that now that I'm not, I get those blissed out moments of life force that floods me with the life force kundalini where everything is just, and it's like, oh, that feels good. It's not terror. It's not freaking, impending doom. It's not, it's, oh, that feels really good, And I want to help other people because it's gonna get hard. It's gonna get hard. It's gonna get freaking crazy, dude. Because people don't have the discipline. They don't have that inner voice that says, no, don't do that. Don't put your hand on them. It's unkind. Don't say those words. It's unkind and not loving. Don't say that. It's not true. Don't do that. It's not your spouse. So, we're in a lot of the same astrology alignments that were happening back when the printing press started. And like this idea of controlled religion, organized religion really became into effect. So, they had their way for a while. Didn't work. So now there's just going to be a bunch of us online or maybe on the street corner, maybe both. You'll find me dancing around the local area. I dance everywhere when I shop around, I dance. I'm just a fool clown. We're just these little beacons of light, and it doesn't have to be that way. People can step into their own power, be their own beacon of light, It's gonna happen, but a lot of people don't know how, so I'm here to teach you. Here to teach you. One of the first things I'm gonna have you do is to get quiet. If you pray, and if you aren't a praying type, you might want to think or consider becoming a praying type. And praying to me, as I understand it, is talking to God, and then meditating is receiving the wisdoms to go with those conversations. So it's a two-way street. But people got to be able to take the time. And I know a lot of people got nothing but time right now. So are people using their time wisely? Hello. Hi, Cosmic Hillbilly and Naked and Laughing. C. Perry, thank you. See, I wonder if, I'm like, because I've lost like probably 25. I think the highest I got was, I think Keegan, because Keegan always shares me frequently. And I think I got like close to 930. And then always around like big shift energies, I just... People don't like the words that are coming out of my mouth. Or they're just... I don't know. I don't really... There's so... and as an IT professional, there's all kinds of explanations. There's... that many people could have just like don't have internet anymore, or their accounts got deactivated or whatever. I was thinking about relationships today. Ugh, YouTube, that's a funny. The about to be and who and when. That's funny. Blush. I blush you too. Hi, Thunder Woman. Welcome to my tiny tube. It is kind of cool to see a lot of people stepping into their spirit. I did get to have that conversation at the tax stop too. Because there's so many people that are... Because this is where I was 4 years ago when I moved to Oregon. And I evidently became unemployable. And if you saw my resume... You'd be like, well, yeah, but then that's when another layer of the onion started being revealed to me and how everything was a club. And I was better off in Omaha in the pond of 800,000 people, because of the people I knew and the network that I had created. And then, you go to small, and it's all everything's a club. I've always looked at everything's a club. And I look at that, I'm like, they're never going to let me a part of their club. And sometimes I'll try to be a part of somebody's club or something's club just to see if they're going to say the words, no, you cannot be a part of our club. I like to do things just to hear people say the words. Just go ahead, deny me, you freaking control freak. Because I have the credentials. Spirit is all we have. And that's how we're going to find out, like, I don't know. I think for me, I would say that's what I was starting to say. I was thinking about relationships earlier. Because I'll be 47 in April. And I was always looking like... got caught up in that same flame storyline, looking for my best friend, my count, all that stuff. And it is so freaking ridiculously cliche. But it was 4 years ago, when I couldn't find get a job. And then that's when universe was like, no, you got to hang out with mom. You got to hang out with mom. She needs more attention and more interactivity, and so I knew that my days of going someplace for 8 hours were over. And then universe said, well, you know what? Let's do that for most people. Let's make it like... But I knew that it was going to happen. If you go back and watch my videos from 3 years ago, I've been waiting for this time since then. I would talk about stuff like how I'm like, okay, so something's gonna happen where everybody on the planet collectively is impacted. How's God gonna how's it gonna play this one out? And then when as soon as it hit in China, I was like, oh, here it is. This is it. Oh my God, this is so amazing. But then at the same time, people have free will. So all this closed up stuff, that's the control freaks. And those are all the people that are so scared and feel so small inside that they have to make sure that everything around them is never ever going to change. I mean, the idea that is see, that's the thing. That's probably why I was never invited to, because I remember even when I was in Reading, the 40th parallel, a guy I ran around with, I was like 15, she was 18. We were friends. She graduated the same year my brother did. They were in the same class. And she was a rainbow girl. And I remember going to the Masonic Temple and thinking, that's really weird that Lost Lanes, where they do all these sacrificial shit, is right down the hill from the Masonic Temple. Anyway, I was like 15. That was back in 89. I've been putting puzzle pieces together for a long time, folks. Long time. So, I know, but one club they let me in was the Air Force. But I opted out. I could only do 6 because I couldn't stand the swinging dicks and how they felt that day. Who was in charge? See, that's the thing is, man, people don't get when men are unbalanced and too much in their feminine energy, it is just as obnoxious as women when they are imbalanced and too much in their masculine energy. Can't stand it. Because I couldn't stand myself for years and years and years. Until I figured out what that was all about. Me overcompensating. Because I looked at women as being weak. Because I'm like, why would they stay with these guys that beat the shit out of them so much? Why would they do? Because they love them. They defend them and all this stuff. And then I overcompensated. So I went into my character defects of my own in this path. So I can't judge other people. Like women with daddy issues. Dude, how many freaking middle-aged dudes and dudes all the way up until their 80s are stoked about freaking girls with their freaking daddy issues? They did a storyline, it's so funny, on Mom Watches Longmire. We got it on DVD, so we just, and she's been watching it for a couple years, but it's like, and there's only 6 seasons, but there's still storylines that I don't know the whole parts of because I just do my other stuff, and I just kind of dip in here and there. And there's storylines because they talk about Heyoka. There's a Heyoka in there, We follow our own logic, and so the Peace Dealer's live. I gotta go, bye. Just kidding. But why was I talking about Longmire? Why was I talking about Longmire? Oh, she's knocked out. I put her to sleep. When I tell my stories, they're like bedtime stories for her. I don't have kids, but it's like having one. It is. Gotta make sure she eats something every hour and a half. I'm always giving her options. Variety, because she could just eat oatmeal for breakfast. I could put her on. No, but there's no fun for her. But so, why was I talking about Longmire? Oh, Katie. That's because they end up, if you ever watch it. I think Katie's his daughter's name. Victoria. She's the one with daddy issues from Philadelphia, and it's like, and she's the one that they like have that tension back and forth together, and I'm just like, people. But I have daddy issues, but they didn't manifest So I ended up doing that, old dudes. My daddy issues manifested in with me overcompensating, with me being, but that's my personality too. Because I was 4, I taught myself how to ride a bike. I grabbed a wrench, went in. They got me a bicycle, had training wheels on it. I took the baby wheels off it. I wasn't gonna have baby wheels on it, and I just have been, let me do it. Let me do it. Ever since my whole life, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. So, and that's why I could only do 6 in the Air Force. And then when I figured it out, I mean, as soon as I went in, it was just like, this is all a business. It's all a business. It's all a business. All the garments, all the alteration, all the, it's all a business. It's all, and then, but they just pay themselves so much more to do. Yeah, don't get me started. See, but I'm bound. There's good parts in it. There's a lot of good people there's a lot of people that are just just want to freaking feed their family, and maybe give one of them a GI Bill or something like that. But they got it a lot easier and a lot better than I had the impression that they had when I was growing up. But we're getting the karma back. We're getting the karma back for all the shit that we've done. As soon as some of us start talking more about that, then maybe the healing can begin. Because a lot of us partook in things that were freaking for profit and for money, like me in Operation Iraqi bullshit, and I get to live with the karma of being a part of a system that killed a lot of innocent people for a lot of years. Yeah, I was there in the beginning, and I'm looking for. I like to mention this every now and again. If you know any of the first 500 Marines, 600 that went in initially, and if you know any of them, put them my way. Have them email me. Straight people like rainbows2@gmail.com. Do whatever. I'd like to have a conversation with some of those guys, because I saw what it did to them. Is why I'm saying so. See, what happened was I was at Crete, the island of Crete, and then they sent all those Marines in, and then they came in, they brought them back to Crete, and then they left them in a hangar. Just to think about what they just did. Because they had no place. Well, I don't know what to do with them. They just killed all these people. They're really fucked up, but I don't know. Maybe we should send them. I don't know. Maybe. What do you think we should do with you? Think? And they did that for weeks. Those kids sat there, and it was like, and then it was like interesting things happen, like because they had to be. They couldn't have alcohol for a while, but then they released the liberty to allow them to drink. So what happened is on that little base, 600 Marines who just broke their fucking psyches by what they did, doing what they're trained to do. A couple weeks before, just freaking getting laid and playing video games, and then, oh, okay, I'm a killer. Some of these guys are like, I really like it. Some of these guys are like, I never want to do that again. So they gave them the liberty to drink. They fucking trashed the bait, and because they were only in that one hangar, right? So there's only like 2 bathrooms. They freaking I couldn't use the female bathroom anymore because they trashed that one too. Because they all got freaking wasted trying to get away from their own psychology, and then the frickin' commander of the base had to say, no more booze. Yeah. I'd go out and I'd smoke. I used to smoke back then, and so I'd hang out with some of these kids. And it was no different than going outside to smoke at the bus station. Talking to the kids around, being a kid, it's no different. These kids that, and I want to help people just that have been through just nastiness, know that you can live a freaking happy, joyful life. You just got to put in the effort. And that's the part that where people want to check out. I got to do what? I got to do something? I got to actively participate in the joy and serenity of my own life? What? It's an inside job? What? I got to do something? Dude, we're only on this planet for like 80 years if we're lucky. If we're lucky, dude. I know a lot of people, old dudes, are dying. I love listening to that Demetria dude. Zach. Yeah. He's cool. So, but that's the thing is we're going to see a lot of really stupid rules. Stupid. Just like, come on. Let me talk to your boss. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, let me talk to your boss until I'm in the mayor's office. Let me talk to a reasonable person because it ain't you. You know, anyone that tries to say, I'm doing this because it's mandated. I know what mandated is. I worked for the most mandated bullshit freaking organization in the world, being the United States military. Fucking mandated. Such a freaking... Dude, security is an inside job. Okay? There is no freaking military that is going to come in and guard you and make sure that you're safe at night. There's no military that's going to do that. And looking at the readiness and all the photographs of what's they're setting up in D.C., don't hold your breath, dude. It's... But I saw Red Dawn when I was a kid, so I've been ready. I've been freaking prepared. I mean, when I was a kid, I'm talking like 10. Mom's dates would take me on to the movies, so I was watching like Sarah Connor and Terminator then, you know, and one of them was like a survivalist, like, you know. So my mom dated Vietnam vets, so I've always known this what the freaking war game is, that we're just pieces of pawns in the chess game, and I knew that going into the Air Force. I went in to get a bachelor's degree because I knew that I was going to be hanging out with Mom. I just didn't know it'd be at 46. So I went to go to college, and then they did all this freaking bullshit 9/11. That's how I was stationed at Offutt, and on 9/11 didn't see anyone else around me, but I hung my arm out the hangar door at the aid shop, and I flipped him the bird just in case. He looked out the window as he was taxiing by. I wanted to let him know that there is one person on this planet, and if he didn't see it, the heart space was still there, and I still did it. I flipped off baby bitch Bush on 9/11. Yeah. Yep. So, things are looking up. For me, people like me, I gotta keep things even keel. I can't get too excited about stuff. I can't. Because when you've been when you have a lot of life experiences, sometimes your body don't know the difference between elation, high frequency elation. It doesn't really know, like, okay, is this from a good place or a scary place? You know, and it takes you, you know. Woo! I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I never been. I don't like almost falling on the ice. I used to like not so much roller coaster. I'll do it just because I ain't chicken. I don't really like roller coaster. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. So, anyway, I ate like an animal. I ate bacon and eggs this morning with a piece of sourdough toast. Did I have lunch? And then I got a big old box of those. I've never had them before in my life. Never went to a White Castle, I don't think. Maybe I did and I was less than impressed. Anyway, I like the little box, little cheeseburgers. You microwave them for like a minute and then, okay, I'm not hungry anymore for a couple hours. I think I had those this afternoon. But it's 7. Mom had dinner. She had a little bit of something. But I don't really like I'm more of a snacker. I have so many I have all these snacks. Mixed nuts and goldfish. I like these. I'll just show them to you. These are some of my favorites right now. See, we never got snacks. There were freaking times we didn't have food at all. I like these. They got all kinds of pate mix. So every night I got a party in my mouth. And I did, because I went in and I was going to get like a little bag of Doritos and stuff. But this has, I don't really like the Cheeto ones. They're a knockoff. But all the other knockoff flavors, they're pretty banging. They're pretty banging. Who was that? Is that Benny? Benny, did you just get down? Oh well, I've been yammering on long enough. I want to thank you for those of you that have stuck by and listened to my stories. March, it'll be 4 years. I've been doing my YouTube videos. It's taken me a long time. I want to break 1,000. That's the only number I care about breaking because it's taken me so freaking long to do it. Good boy, Bandy. You'll get Tucker back there. Tucker's back there. And Benny. Everybody's all cozy dozy. I love it, dude. It took us a long time to get here. So for those of you that have been on this journey with me, you know, and what I like to do is I like to share my experience, my hope, my strengths, my weaknesses, my faults, all of that. My light, shadow, my full spectrum. And maybe other people that have a hard time doing that might find it a little bit easier, you know. And if you want to practice with me, because social skills, there's a lot of people that just don't know how to talk to other people, you know. Well, people, I feel it. My heart space feels like they want to. Like they want the chance. Like, you know, like some of the best times I ever had in my life were just sitting around at a campfire. The people that you care about. And they don't have to be like-minded. I like people that don't exactly think like me because then I have perspective and ways of learning that I never thought of. See? I mean, I take a lot of things into consideration, but I grew up in a world that a lot of people don't recognize. So there's a lot of stuff in the world that I don't recognize, like, you know, when their parents have been together for 50-something years, all that whatever. You know, I'm a trauma kid, you know. But that's our story. So that we can help other people that go through